Hello, everybody. This is Julissa. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening in the podcast. It is Sunday, June 16, 2024. Today is Father's Day. So, before I continue, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Today, though, I am coming with a very tragic story, and this happened a couple of days ago. A 8-year-old Missouri girl has died after suddenly becoming ill during a flight. She was headed to vacation with her family, and suddenly this 8-year-old young girl became ill and actually died during the flight. What a tragic tragic event for everybody to witness. And like I told you guys many times, your life can change at any moment, right? So let me read to you briefly this article. An 8-year-old Missouri girl has died after suddenly becoming ill and then unresponsive during a SkyWest Airlines regional flight headed to Chicago. The Peoria County Coroner's Office said her name is Sydney Weston, and she was traveling with her family on vacation when the incident unfolded Thursday morning. The flight number was 5121, and she was headed to Chicago. Ended up making an emergency landing at Peoria International Airport. I hope I'm pronouncing the name Peoria. And around 7 a.m. local time, this is what they're saying. Her family immediately notified the flight personnel of her condition and then they began rapidly rendering aid. Upon landing in Peoria, she was not breathing and had no pulse, the coroner's office said in a statement. If you guys heard my previous episode, I told you that last weekend, especially, I was just returning back from being in Florida. I live in Connecticut, so I was coming back, and I think I mentioned how my flight was fully booked, and you see when you see so many people kind of like in this aircraft so small, and we like it tells you, it kind of puts life into perspective a little bit, because we're all so vulnerable, right? We're so fragile, we're so vulnerable, and here we are like thousands of feet up in the air flying, and anything can happen, right? And when we're like on that environment filled with strangers, so we only have each other to help each other out. So it's almost like at the end of the day, we're all really family, because you know we are to help each other. I think I said that in my previous video. God's original intent is for everybody to help each other out. So this must be so shocking for her family to experience something like this. I know when I was traveling last week, I saw a lot of families. So, I mean, I was heading to Florida, to Orlando. So, I know a lot of people go there for Disney World. So, I saw many families, a lot of children too. So, a lot of schools are out now. Everybody's traveling, going on vacation. Your life can change at any moment, right? This is very kind of like a rare case. Things like this usually don't happen during a flight. I think when families are traveling, they see if anybody's feeling ill, they might postpone that trip or get the child or whoever in the family is sick. They go to the doctor and get an approval before they even go on a flight. If not, they eventually will change the flight, because the last thing you want to do is, right, be away from home and be sick, be away from your doctor and be sick. Like in a different state and things like that. So I'm sure that was the last thing in their mind, that something like this could happen. I do apologize if you hear any noise. I do have the window open, but let me continue to read here. Once again, her name was Sydney Weston, and she was just 8 years old. Okay, she died the during the flight on Thursday morning, very early flight too, by the way. Because this happened, they landed back at 7 a.m. So imagine how early they probably got in the flight. And she said the family said that the flight attendant, once they got notified that something was happening, they immediately began to help the family out and to render aid. Let me see here. Despite the aggressive resuscitative efforts, Weston was pronounced dead at the local hospital about an hour later, and not autopsy has been scheduled for Friday. So I'm sure once they get all the information about what actually went on, what actually happened, that she lost her life, they'll, I guess they'll come public about it and give the report. But 8 years old, right? Like going on vacation with family, probably looking forward to get off from school and kind of like get that time to go on vacation. Perhaps 8 years old, maybe it was her first time going on a plane. Anything, life is so unpredictable, right? So let me see any other information I can get here for you guys. Um, The Peoria County Sheriff's Office said when the plane landed, deputies, AMT personnel, and Air National and fire personnel immediately received the 8-year-old female child and began life-saving measures. Please keep the Shaw family and everyone who was involved in this traumatic experience in your thoughts and prayers. Just thinking about me being traveling last weekend, it was so crazy because when I was waiting at the airport, I also had a very early flight, and I'm just waiting at the gate, and out of nowhere, here comes this couple, and they come closer to me, and they say, if you're going to Orlando, they actually moved the gate. You have to go, you have to go to a different gate. And I was like, it's so interesting how we're really like if you're traveling alone, like you're basically surrounded by strangers, but even so there's always somebody looking out for you, even if they don't know you. Like out of nowhere they immediately thought, she's probably going to the same place that they were going, so why don't we just go and tell them, right? And I can just imagine in this flight how everybody probably felt like they needed to somehow help this family. They were going through a traumatic event. They probably didn't know, the family probably didn't know what was going on with their daughter. And for the outcome to be so tragic to the point that she lost her life, that is so traumatic to everybody, right? it, Not just the family. I don't know if she has siblings with her too, with everybody that was in that plane who witnessed all of that, the flight personnel and things like that. It's just very scary scenario, but I was, it's good to see that everybody kind of like help out too. It's just such a dramatic event. And speaking about helping each other out, this family, friends of this family, of Sydney's family, had opened a GoFundMe link, a GoFundMe fundraiser, excuse me. And I'm gonna leave the link here, so if you can help by any means, go ahead and help. Making a donation to help the family go through this process, and financially. And if you're not able to help financially, you can also help by praying for them. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. I'm going to leave the link here. If you're listening in the podcast, I'm also going to put the link there. If you don't see it, you can come to the YouTube channel where you will find the link for this campaign. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening in the podcast. Have a good day. God bless.